coming up on Cardinals Insider.
You know, a lot of good battles with the Cubs over the years, so it's going to be emotional. I know these guys are going to be emotional too.
It's Yadi, Waino, and Albert's last time together at Wrigley Field. Also, find out why this year is unlike any other. That's ahead on this week's The Last Inning. Then later, to be or not to be. That is this week's Ask a Cardinal question. All that and more just ahead on Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. Yadi, Albert, and Waino have had big moments across the National League, but there's just something different about playing at Wrigley Field. Let's look back at their history on the north side as they pass through for the final time as a trio.
A lot of good memories here. I won 20 games twice here. You know, a lot of good battles with the Cubs over the years, so it's going to be emotional. I know these guys are going to be emotional too.
He got him, struck him out. First pitch and a high fly ball. At the wall, gone! One pitch, he tied it. He tied it.
You know, I love this stadium. I think it's pretty unique. I love, how it's set up with the fence. On top, everything is so close. You know, coming here through with the Cardinals uniform and, obviously the organization is, you remain a lot of good memories, the history between both of the organization, the rivalry, the fans.
Pujols into right center field. That ball is trouble. Get going. Go on. Home run for Albert. Wow. That is crushed into left field. Albert Pujols 4 for 4. His second home run. And the pitch is driven into deep right center field. Did he do it again? Sosa back. It is gone! A 3-home run day for Pujols, and the Cardinals have taken the lead.
I've loved this rivalry. I think it's a respectful rivalry, but at the same time, when I see somebody wearing a Cubs uniform or a Cubs jersey, like walking down the street, it instantly makes me wonder what's wrong with that person. I saw a person a couple years ago walking down the road in my hometown of Georgia with a Cubs uniform, like a Cubs jersey and hat on. And I just thought, in my hometown, South Georgia, 2,000 miles away from Chicago, or however far it is, what would make somebody want to do that? They got to know I'm from here, right? It's a small town. They're rubbing it in. Are they trying to do this on purpose? Or are they just visiting? And I want to know why. What makes a person that stubborn? But it is a great, respectful thing. I've never heard about big fights going on between the two sides. It's always a cordial hatred for each other.
We've been capturing Yadi, Waino, and Albert's last season together as Cardinals during a new mini-series called The Last Inning. This week, we reflect on what makes this season so truly unique within Cardinals history.
In the air, left field, and Pujols has given St. Louis the lead. This ball is gone. 2-run home run.
The Cardinals are world champions for 2007.
And the Cardinals have won the pennant.
He's knocked out the alley. Big Maryland.
This is special for you, but you can't imagine what it's like for us. We've never had a summer like this. Sure, we've said goodbye before.
There we go.
We've gazed at the long shadows cast by legends. But this is different. This time it's twice as hard. Your careers haven't just spanned a generation of fans, they've created one. Of course, you'd leave us with one final memory. A goodbye only you two could author. We shouldn't be surprised, though. After all, 4 and 5 do go together. But this isn't the end of two careers. It's the final word on an era. Because in 130 years of signature moments,
They just won't go away.
You too have set an impossible standard.
By Yadi and Waino. 3 on the night.
And it will take us a while to learn what this game looks like without you. So when the final word is written, when you take that last bow, it'll mean as much to us as it does to you. Thank you for a once-in-a-lifetime summer from 2 once-in-a-lifetime players.
Adam Wainwright and Yadi and Waino have been big league battery mates since Wainwright's first major league start in 2007. They're closing in on a Major League Baseball record of 324 starts by a pitcher-catcher duo. We're chronicling their incredible journey towards this moment in our Chase for 325 series, presented by Cardinals Magazine.
Macabre pops up. Here's Green. Detroit, the new world champion. And look at Green picking up Lowledge. And there is a scene that has been repeated many times in World Series history.
Swing and a miss. The Cardinals are world champions for
Strike 3 called outside corner.
He gets a big hug from Yadi and Waino. Reaches the catcher and
Second, got him.
Do you think they'll be able to break it?
I think so. They got to stay healthy. You know, if both of them stay healthy, then they should be able to reach it, and it'll put them in the upper echelon of baseball history.
I mean, this is history, what you're seeing. This will never be touched again. Even before the record, the water that they're in right now, no one will ever do this again. We have so many talented pitchers and so many talented catchers around the game of baseball, you'll never see this again.
So many things have to come together for that, for 2 careers to parallel each other like they have from the start to the, near the finish line, and for them both to be that good, that dedicated, that, just that resilient. I mean, I can't imagine what the odds are, and I can't imagine that happening again.
I think with the emergence of free agency in the sense of like how many players actually move around, I think that's going to create it very difficult for 2 people to stick together for a long period of time to accomplish this. But the other part is just their own longevity. Clearly, Adam had some years where he missed time as a pitcher, but for a catcher to play as long as Yadi has, I don't think you're going to see that in the future.
If you even look to see who's number 2 on that list, it's not even close to half of what Waino and Yadi have caught. So I think that's one reason. It's just a record that will stand, I think, for history.
I really do believe in that you have to be blessed, right? You have to be blessed. You have to be thankful for everything that you have gone through, like you were mentioning earlier. Also, you have to have health. You have to have loyalty. Loyalty meaning the team loyal to you and Waino, right? Yadi and Waino. I think those are the most important things that you need to have to get to that far, to get that far.
You are getting to witness history. You're already seeing 2 Cardinal Hall of Famers day in and day out, and you know that, but you're seeing a feat right now that will never be seen again.
In just a bit,
for me, I'm always happy when someone gets called up for the first time, to go live out their dream of playing in the big leagues.
Get a preview of Nolan Gorman on the Chatter's Box podcast. The Chatter's Box, hosted by Kyle McClellan, is a unique new podcast for Cardinal fans. On the latest episode, he sits down with rookie Nolan Gorman. Take a look.
All right, welcome back to the Chatter's Box. My name is Kyle McClellan, and I am joined with the Cardinals rookie Nolan Gorman. Nolan, thanks for joining us today and digging into the Chatter's Box. Start out this season in Memphis, and obviously you're the talk, right? So everybody's like, when's he coming up? When's he coming up? There's other guys that are coming up ahead of you. Like, how did that play with you? Were you paying attention to that? Did you hear that chatter? How did you stay focused in what you were doing and continue to put up big numbers there in Memphis?
For me, I'm always happy when someone gets called up for the first time, to go live out their dream of playing in the big league. So it wasn't really a thing of, when's it my turn? Why aren't they calling me up? Why are they calling these other guys out? That's not going to do me any good to worry about that stuff. Just be excited for those guys that get the opportunity to do it, and then, want to go up there and do it with them. And it was good to see guys like Yepes and Donovan come up here and Palante start the year here and have success right away. And for me, it kind of drove me even more to have more success down in Memphis to, have them call me up and come do it up here, with those guys that I've come up through the system with.
What's the big difference? I mean, so you're on the infield, you're getting ground balls, so why is it different from third base to second base? What are the biggest changes you had to make? I mean, third base,
you're kind of like a hockey goalie. It's a step and a dive to most balls that you're going to get to, and at second base, you're able to range more, sprint for balls and dive for them, and I think probably one of the more challenging things is turning double plays. Obviously at third base, you're not doing that. You're the one throwing it to them. And so just being able to learn how to transfer and get a clean grip every time and make a good throw, make sure you get that out first at second base, and, really just figuring out which way you're going to go across the bag, everything. There's a lot of small details over there around the bag.
Earlier this summer, the Cardinals alumni hosted a softball clinic for some Redbird rookies. The clinic was held at the former site of Stars Park, which is now the baseball and softball complex at Harris Stowe State University.
Redbird Rookies is obviously the Cardinals Care youth baseball and softball team that we sponsor for kids ages 5 to 13, and it's very important for us to be out here today for the girls that are in Redbird Rookies and get a chance to see female athletes and give them somebody to look up to and aspire to. So we're really happy to be here today, and this is the first softball clinic we've ever done, so we really can't wait for the girls to come out and have a good time. USA Softball's coming out today to help us with the clinic, and then Harris Stowe State softball coach and a few players will be out here today as well.
This is our first softball complex here, so to have the first softball camp held here at Harris Stowe State University, I think is awesome. It impacts us a lot. One, it helps with exposure, but it also allows us to get back to the community. And that's something that we as athletes, we as employees here at Harris Stowe, and just the Harris Stowe family, we love to get back to our community. So this is something that's very exciting for us.
I actually received an email about 1 or 2 months ago, and this is my first year being with USA, so I got the email to work with these kids and, with the Cardinals and things like that, and I was actually really excited. The money didn't matter to me. I just feel playing with the kids and being able to teach them what I know, that's really valuable to me, and I think that's a big part of the game, being passed down generation to generation.
It's great to both see baseball and softball, to have games at the same time. It's one of the most exciting things to see happen here at Harris Stowe.
And still to come.
Matt's a Hall of Fame player, but he's an even better person.
Hear about Matt Holliday's path to the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Fans selected outfielder Matt Holliday for the 2022 Cardinals Hall of Fame class. He will be inducted here at Busch Stadium next weekend. Here's a closer look at his career.
Matt's a Hall of Fame player, but he's an even better person, and I think anybody that you asked that played with him would say the same thing.
Holliday hits it hard to left field. That gets down.
Everybody strives to be a type of person that Matt is. In St. Louis, no pun intended, hit a home run with an unbelievable trade and signing in Matt Holliday. He was so impactful in that clubhouse, but off the field, he's impacting kids and other people's lives, and he's also hitting 30 home runs a year.
Holliday in his first night in the Cardinals uniform.
We traded for Matt in 2009, and I didn't know Matt. And then we extended him, and he was in Orange County working out, and that's when we really started growing our relationship. I carpooled with him every single day to the field. I got to know him as a person and family man and dad, husband. He checks every box, 10 out of 10. What people don't know about Matt is he was relentless. His work in the weight room, in the cage, was second to none. And I remember when we first got Matt, the weight room only had up to 100-pound dumbbells, and we had to go out and get the 110s and 120s for him to rep, not to max, but just to get loose. And we don't win a World Series without Matt Holliday.
Holliday out to deep right. Yes, yes, yes! He did it in what could be his final plate appearance in St. Louis. An opposite field home run. Unbelievable.
On this week's Farm Report, we take a trip to Springfield to visit with prospect Mason Wynn. Wynn recently made headlines with his 100.5 mile per hour throw across the diamond at Major League Baseball's Futures game.
Well, Mason, let's start with this, man. I think a lot of people saw the highlight at the Futures game, slinging it over across the diamond at 100 plus miles an hour. I'm sure you have probably had a throw that came out real good and you felt good about before, but were you surprised when you saw the number after the game?
No, I really was. I wanted to throw on 100. You know, I thought I'd put a little bit behind it, but I didn't know quite sure. And then one of my NL teammates actually came over, Bobby Miller, and he let me know it was 100.5, and then we kind of all had a little celebration in there. But no, it was more. It was really fun out there for sure.
What's the thing this year that you've learned about yourself, maybe from a baseball perspective?
I think I've learned to really slow the game down. I think last year I was really jittery, real panicky, you know, maybe just a little anxious my first year, but I think having that under my belt has really helped me calm down a little bit and play with a little bit more level head and just kind of taking the game pitch by pitch. I think mentally I've gotten a way bigger leap forward. No, I mean, I think especially in baseball, I mean, if you think negative, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, I think you got to be positive about everything.
It's a great fan base with the Cardinals. I've seen before where you kind of like to get on Twitter maybe or on social and just kind of interact with fans, and they're excited about you and your trajectory in the organization. Why is that? You know, why do you like to engage the fans that way?
You know, I feel like it's something I've always done. I mean, you know, if somebody comes up to talk to me, like I have no problem going out of my way to have a conversation with them. At the end of the day, we do it for them. So, you know, they're going to be the ones, we're selling tickets to them. They're going to be the ones coming to watch the game. So, you know, if I can make a kid's day or if I can, you know, talk to a parent or something like that, take some pictures, it's always a good thing, for sure.
What's it been like for you playing with Jordan Walker? You guys are both big prospects in the organization. You both have a lot of energy, a lot of excitement to your game. You feed off each other day to day and what you guys are doing?
100%. I mean, you know, from the time we wake up, we're already chirping at each other, you know, talking mess. But, you know, as soon as we step in between those white lines, it's a lot of fun. You know, He's an incredible baseball player. You know, it's crazy to watch. It's really fun to watch.
You seem like a guy that takes a lot of pride in defense. You know, so much of the time people focus on what happens at the plate, but defense seems really important to you. What do you kind of do to feel comfortable in you know, that element?
Well, I mean, I think before this season I worked a lot with Jose Oquendo, our defensive specialist, Cheo. He set me up with a routine that I do daily, just trying to really focus on that, especially being with the Cardinals. I know how much they really prioritize defense, a lot of gold glovers, so if I'm gonna fit in up there, I gotta get the glove right. So
for you, is there something you look at and say, I want to do this really well the rest of the way to set myself up for the winter and the spring training I want to have to do what I want to do in 23?
You know, I think I want to obviously in the year strong hitting wise. Probably want to put on probably about 5, maybe 10 more pounds if that's even possible. But yeah, I think grinding the weight room, trying to get stronger, maybe put a few more balls out, that'd be great. Playing great defense. So, I mean, I think just being consistent, trying to win some ball games and get us to the playoffs would be ideal.
Awesome. Mason, thanks for the time, man. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
When we return, I'm answering one of your questions. It's Ask Ozzie, and it's up next. It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Marjorie in St. Louis asked, why do you say you're from St. Louis when you grew up in California? Great question, Marjorie. Actually, I was born in the baseball town of Mobile, Alabama. I moved to LA when I was 6 years old, so most of my growing up was done in California, but I make St. Louis my home. It's such a great sports town. You know, we talk about baseball because baseball is St. Louis, but It's a great sports town all around, about to get Major League Soccer, so the support for sports here in this town has always been great. You know, you become a part of this community. Had open arms for me and my family when I came here in 1982, and it's just made it's a great community to raise a family. So I remain here, and that's why I call this place my home. Well, I think that speaks to the type of place that it is. The fact that so many guys remain here after their playing days, and it's always nice to be able to sit and reminisce with the guys, and we have a great alumni here. The Cardinals do a great job of getting us together and stuff, so we enjoy that, and it was always such a big part of our lives. Thanks for the question, Marjorie. If you want to submit a question, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. But for now, stay with us. There's more Cardinals Insider after the break. Who on the team would be most likely to read Shakespeare for fun? We asked the guys on this week's Ask a Cardinal.
Oh, Wainwright. Adam, for sure. I'll go with Waino.
I can see Wainwright. I just feel like he could get into some type of poetry. He's kind of got that artistic side.
Andrew Kisner, yeah, because he's just a wild card. You never know with Andrew Kisner. He's a different breed. So Shakespeare, I can't put my finger on anything. So if it's a wild card, I'll go Andrew Kisner.
Paul DeYoung. And he'd come out and he'd try to quote it and say a bunch of stuff about it. Yeah, for sure.
That's all for this episode. Join us again right here next week. And as always, you can watch new episodes on YouTube or cardinals.com/insider. And for everyone involved with the show, I'm Ozzie Smith, and we'll see you next week.